basketball fans! Welcome to today's game at East Pennsboro Middle School. Today's game pits Christendom College against your Central Penn Knights. The USCAA and Central Penn College promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial and ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. And now, folks, we ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now, here are the starting lineups for today's game. First, the visiting team for Christendom. Number 5, Regina Bonvisuno. Number 10, Mary Pennefather. Number 11, Georgie Snyder. Number 24, Catherine Thomas. Number 23, Miranda Keller. Head coach is Mary Minton. And now for our Central Penn Knights. Number 2, Nyree Roberson-Waters. Number 5, Kayla Thomas. Number 10, Diamond Whitaker. Number 21, Brandy Swinton. Number 23, Allison Yoder. And head coach of your Central Penn Knights is Stasia King.
Welcome everybody to East Penn Middle School. Paul Miller and Dalton Koller here on the call for the Lady Knights taking on the number 1 ranked in the USCAA Christendom College. This is going to be an uphill battle if the Knights want to stay competitive in this game. Dalton, Christendom coming in this game at 16-1.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very tough matchup for the Knights tonight. Obviously, they met up earlier in the year, which Christendom won the game by 40. So definitely not the outcome the Knights are looking for that night. Hopefully looking to change that outcome here tonight.
Knights do come down with the tip, and I'm going to tell you right now, if we want to have any chance in this game, it's got to be Kayla Thomas, it's got to be Nyree Roberson-Waters, and it's got to be Allison Yoder. This is going to be a tough game. Like we said, we know any of you that have followed Knights basketball and remember games in the past know Catherine Thomas. She's coming in on the season 23.8 points. Thomas off on that 3-ball. Father, we remember her from last year as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Christendom is going to be looking to stretch the floor real quick, push the pace. That's exactly what they did right there on offense.
We have Roberson-Waters with the ball, bringing Swinton, Allison Yoder, Diamond Whitaker, and Kayla Thomas, and Roberson-Waters from downtown. A good start for the Knights.
And that's what the Knights are going to have to do all night long, not obviously making their shots, but limiting the turnovers. That's been kind of something that has been costing them games as of late, but they need to just avoid turnovers at all costs.
Thomas inside, can't get it to go, and Yoder the rebound. So again, the Knights basically have to play an almost perfect game, you have to imagine, to stay in this one.
Not to say that they can't, but that's definitely what it's going to take. But I think the Knights can do it. I mean, they've shown, last time we saw them, they got a win, their first win at home of the year. If they play like they did that game, I think we could probably walk out away with another win.
No question. And Kayla Thomas gives the Knights an early 3-point lead. Some press here for Central Penn, which is, again, something we might have to do to cause some turnovers. But from downtown, Penn has hit the first 5 for Christendom.
And what I will say for sure is last time when the Knights played Bucks County College, there were several times where the Knights could have ended up losing that, and Bucks County just kept making costly mistakes that let them stay in it. So that for tonight with Christendom, they might not be doing those same things. So you have to capitalize on every single mistake that they make because they're going to be very far and few in between.
Well, Dalton, it is interesting to note that even with that 16-1 record, they actually average more turnovers than their opponents. They average 12.4 per game, while their opponents 11.9.
That's definitely something the Knights are going to have to key in on. Anytime that your opponent, especially a high-quality one like this, is going to give you a chance, you need to do something with it.
Snyder goes to the rim, gets called for the foul. And that's one big thing that the Knights are going to have to avoid foul trouble because they don't have a deep bench, only 3 players on the bench. They will play a strong 6-person rotation with Jayla Pearson, who's going to get some minutes tonight. And Keller hits the first of 2. Keller on the season with 8.7 points per game. And that goes. One very interesting thing about both number 30 Serena Keller and number 33 Miranda Keller, both from Harrisburg.
They probably maybe even knew about this school before they went to Christendom, but I mean, almost kind of a homecoming for them, which makes sense why they have a lot of people in the crowd here tonight. But, hey, one thing I will say that the Knights are going to have to do is they are going to have to, as you mentioned, limit the fouls. I think there is around a similar size advantage, but I will say Miranda Keller already, you saw in that last possession, she went right down and attacked Allison Yoder, and Yoder had no choice but to foul there. So they're going to have to avoid that.
I think Yoder is going to play more on Thomas personally because she's more of a stretch forward, and I think Swinton's going to play down on the post against Keller.
That would make sense to me.
Snyder will inbound. Snyder, the freshman, 3.2 points on the season. Thomas averaging a double-double, 23.8 points, 11.1 rebounds. Penafloth over 21.7 and 8.6. So I can't imagine too many other teams in the USCAA have quite the dynamic duo that Christendom has.
I had to look into that, but no, I did not think that they would just any team that is out there that has just 2 dynamic players like that.
Penafloth was looking to chuck one up there. Down inside to Thomas, the lefty, although she can play with both hands. Good defense there from Yoder. Glad she didn't take that foul, but it's still 9-5. Knights trail.
That was just too easy there for Thomas working on Yoder, just going a little back and forth, and then she found the open shot with the left hand. I mean, it was no question she was going to make that.
Oh, timeout here from the Knights. Well, Weis Market proudly supports our military. As a thank you for our appreciation, Weis Markets offers 10% discount on participating Weis brand products every Thursday to all active duty reserve, retired, and military veterans. Thank you for your service. See store for more details.
Also, for anyone that's in the Central Penn area, tomorrow night is the film series, Friday, February 7th. It will start at 6 p.m. It'll be Dr. Amanda Stuckey presenting The Social Network, the movie about Mark Zuckerberg and how Facebook came to popularity. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, actually, we had her recently on the podcast and talked a little bit more about what her discussion was going to be about, and she said she's going to talk a lot about how social media creates these echo chambers, and she's also going to talk a little bit about some of the dangers of artificial intelligence. So I think her presentation is going to be really interesting.
I can't really expect much less coming out of Professor Stuckey.
Knights trail 9-5, 6:26 left here in the first quarter. We will play 4 quarters here today. I know if you watch both broadcasts, it is a little different than the men. The men play 2 halves, the women 4 quarters. Again, Thomas and Roberson-Waters really have to get involved on the team. She still goes to the rack. Oh, and can't get it to fall, and those are the ones we've got to have, Dalton.
No, yeah, that was a great look there from the area. To weave around 3 defenders and find an open shot was truly amazing. Just unfortunately rimmed right out and did not land.
Thomas thinks about the 3, turns it over, Roberson-Waters. And she's running. Tries to get it outside to Thomas, can't get it to go. Swinton the jumper, no good. And Yoder the rebound. Very dangerously close to a travel there, but didn't get the call. Got to get somebody to go in motion toward the basket. Yoder, the lefty, shot 2 in and out shots for Yoder. And she puts it back.
Yep, gets a rebound. Nice play there from Yoder. Christendom, what they're doing on defense is they're playing all of their people on the perimeter, and as soon as someone crashes the rim, they just completely envelop that player. But Yoder was still able to go there, fight for that rebound, and put it up.
Keller took the shot, got her own rebound, and Thomas from deep. There's just no guarding that. That was a 2.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that, you can't allow their best scorer to just have wide open looks like that. She's going to make them.
And listen, I've seen Thomas for the past 4 seasons, and she's just a remarkable player. Great low post player, great from the outside. I don't really even see any deficiencies in her game. Good defensively.
No, absolutely not. She's an absolute threat on the court at all times.
Swinton, the bucket and the foul going to the line to make this a 1-point game. And Dalton, I think we're seeing sort of the blueprint if the Knights want to stay competitive in this contest.
Absolutely. That was a great play there from Swinton. Just not afraid of the contact. Every single time they're going down in the paint, they're drawing contact and they're drawing fouls. And just right there, possible for a 3-point play here.
And while I would say, to your earlier point, we did lose earlier in the season, and we did lose twice to them last season, including the ESAC championship game. One of the times that we did one of the games, one of our big runs was when Thomas was on the bench, and she is now. This is the time for the Knights to put some points up and maybe get back in the lead here.
Absolutely. They also need to get a couple key stops here on defense.
They're going to run this offense through Pennefather, and there's a steal by Nyree Roberson-Waters. Thomas from downtown. Oh, comes up empty. And I could have felt a momentum swing right there.
Yeah, that's definitely would have been a great shot of momentum there for the Knights if Thomas made that shot. But as we mentioned, the last time we did see Christendom, the offense did run through Pennefather, dribbling the ball down the court, and that seems to be the same thing here tonight.
Bondasuto, number 5. Number 13 is Colasar. Down low, Keller can't get it to go. Pennefather the rebound. So there was just it was a misunderstanding from the shot clock operator that did not hit the rim. So small break for Central Penn. Inbound to Snyder. He takes it in and leaves it for Pennefather from way downtown. Not much you can say about that.
No, not really. I mean, you don't really expect for someone to be all the way out there, almost near the logo, putting up a 3 and draining it like she just did.
Yoder with the turnover. And the Knights find themselves in the hole here early.
If anything, you're on defense. That's the shots you want your offense to kind of try and they forced them to make it, and just right there, Pennefather did.
Pennefather shooting 35% from beyond the arc. Really no one even close for the Knights. The high mark is Nyree Roberson-Waters shooting 25%. A good double team down below. Swinton the block.
Great slot there from Swinton. Good concentration.
Pennefather behind the play knocks the ball out of bounds. But what a block. Very impressive.
Yeah, just great concentration on the ball there. Not actually hitting Keller either. Getting all ball there. Great play from Swinton.
I will say, thus far, this has been a physical game, not a lot of foul calls. In comparison to the last ladies' game we saw, this is like night and day.
Absolutely.
Because they were calling everything.
Yeah, I know. I think that's definitely something that the Knights were coming into today looking to try and do is limit those fouls.
Turnover from the Knights from downtown. Snyder can't get it to go. And that's going to be Knights ball. Thomas does average 31 minutes, actually third on the team, shockingly. Behind the back, Roberson-Waters, but falls on it, gets it to Swinton, who takes it baseline. Swinton's got to get those to fall tonight.
Yeah, that was a good look, just unfortunately a little bit off the mark. I think she went in there a little bit too fast, a little bit too much on, and shot it over the rim.
Keller can't get that one to go. Keller was looking for the foul call. Trying to go back inside to Keller, and Yoder comes up with it. The Knights are hanging in there.
Absolutely. Obviously, I'm going to say I'm surprised that she didn't get that foul call. Brandy was all over her there.
It's like Thomas and Heisler are going to check in. Pick and roll inside to Yoder, but Pennefather to steal, and they're going to get Yoder for the foul. That's a tough turn of events there for Yoder.
Yeah, trying to get something going there on the pick and roll, but Pennefather snuffed it out, and she was not allowing that.
And Thomas checks back in, so she got a little breather there, and the Knights really are no better off for it. Colasar, Heisler, and Thomas.
She will make those shots.
Dicey pass inside to Whitaker, can't hang on to it, but does maintain possession. Inside to Roberson-Waters, who posts up. What a shot by Roberson-Waters.
Circus type like finish there. Wasn't even looking at the rims. He just kind of hooked.
Thinks about the three, drives to the basket, doesn't get it to fall, and Yoder the rebound. Good defense by Yoder, great pick by Yoder. Thomas out ahead of the play, looking for her teammates to come and join her. We're about a minute left. Knights trail by 5.
Yeah, but that's something on defense the Knights are going to have to do. Do not let Christendom get any second chances with offensive rebounds.
There have been no substitutions for the Knights as Roberson-Waters puts it in. I would imagine that these players are tired, although Kirby is getting ready to check in if there's a stoppage.
Well, just about 40 seconds left. They just got to hold on for a little bit longer, get a couple more stops, maybe get one more bucket in there going into the second quarter.
Knights only trail by 3 with about 30 seconds left. Heisler to Thomas. And Pennefather drives the lane, is going to get the foul call and go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the ref to make. She tried to go up there. There was the initial contact, and then coming down, landed right into Diamond Whitaker's right hand, and that's just a really easy call for the ref to make.
Knights trail 16-13, 21.7 seconds left, and Kirby does check in for Swinton. Pennefather, automatic. Dalton 82% from the line this year. Both Pennefather and Thomas, followed by Bonvisuto at 79%.
And that's definitely something that they're going to have to pay attention to. That's why they said limited the fouls. This team's a great free throw shooting team, so you cannot send them to the line too often.
Shot clock is off, and Thomas, the floater, no good. They gotta stop him here. 6 seconds left. Pennefather, the acrobatic shot's no good. Knights will have 2.2 to try to get something off here. Thomas, the long-range shot. From this angle, I thought she had a chance, but it was a little bit off. But the Knights trail by only 5 here in the first. I'll tell you, they played a pretty clean game so far. Good on defense. Christendom is just, they assault you from all angles.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said, that the Knights needed to do. They needed to limit turnovers. So far in that first quarter, they did exactly that. Not too many mistakes from the offensive side for the Knights, but I mean, on the defensive side, there's just you gotta put hands on people like Penn and Thomas. You give them too many open looks, and they're not missing. You cannot let them have those open looks for the rest of the night.
Let me just ask you a quick question. At what point do you maybe go to a man defense?
I think if it continues to go the way it's going, where they're just having these open looks and they're breaking the zone, at some point you're just going to have to take ISO, put someone on them right now.
Well, with it being Super Bowl week, I know you're all looking for some new recipes. Visit wisemarket.com or download the mobile app to view thousands of recipes. With this large variety, there's sure to be a new meal your family will love. Cook something new for the big game with Weis Market.
It's something I just remembered too from last year when the Christendom came into town to play the Knights. Mary Pennefather was actually the one that had the crazy game. Catherine Thomas, it's crazy to say she only had 17, which was a really good game. Pennefather had 48.
I remember that.
She had 10 3-pointers. And obviously, you go and put man defense on someone like Catherine Thomas who's going to lead Pennefather.
Of course, you can always go to centralpennknights.com and keep up with the live stats. Just click on the women's schedule, scroll down to this game, and click live stats. But as we do at the end of each quarter, we're going to take a look. For Christendom, Mary Pennefather is the leader, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Catherine Thomas is at 6, and Miranda Keller with 2. For the Knights, Nyree Roberson-Waters with 7, and Kayla Thomas, Brandy Swinton, and Allison Yoder all have a bucket. And Yoder, though, has 4 rebounds, 2 assists, but also Dalton, 2 fouls.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you do not want to see. She's one of their best, not even just all-around players, but also one of their best defensive players as well. And if you want someone, she's probably their best person to put on someone like Catherine Thomas. So you're definitely going to need her to stay in the rest of this game with no foul trouble.
And Pearson has not checked in. She's still in her warm-up jersey. I'm hoping that she's okay. And Keller with the bucket. 2013, Knights trail by 7. Thomas inside to Yoder, who's drawn Thomas. 2 Thomases on the floor. And Kirby takes a spill and struggles to get up.
Yeah, look like she was trying to clear a lane for Yoder there. And not too much contact. And she almost immediately grabbed right for her knee. That is not something you want to see.
Especially as her other knee already seems to be a little on the injured side. You don't want to see the other knee get it. 2013, we're here in the second quarter. Paul Miller and Dalton Koller for the Nightly News Media Club. We'll be back here with you Monday night for the men, and of course the final ladies home game of the season will be on Senior Day, February 19th. That game will be part of a doubleheader that starts at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, definitely want.
And we need to pack this house.
Oh, absolutely. Senior night's going to be a lot of these ladies' last games. And obviously,
Ayla Kirby are on the bench with Pearson. This is where I really want to see Kayla Thomas get involved more in this game.
Yeah, she's the one that took the ball down the court there. I think they're going to try and maybe run some plays here.
They had Yoder, but good defense there by Christendom on the turnover from Roberson-Waters. Keller puts the ball on the floor. Bonvisuto. And inside, Pennefather.
And that was something I was going to talk about coming out of the break. So far in this game, I think the big difference that I'm noticing is the turnover battle is actually pretty close. Central Penn has only committed 6, Christendom's committed 4, so it's pretty even. The big difference is Christendom now has scored 8 points off of those 6 turnovers. Central Penn, they've only scored 2, which is something that I did say that they need to capitalize on the mistake Christendom's making, because right now they are not doing that when Christendom is doing exactly that.
23-13, 8:41 left, and the Knights need to get something going here. Played a tight first quarter, And Yoder on the move. And how there was no foul call there, I'm not understanding. But then again, it's kind of gone both ways, so I can't really complain too much. But I heard it from up here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a little give and go there from Yoder.
Thomas catch and shoot. Can't get it to go. Hey, you know what? Like we say even on the baseball field, we're good as long as you call it straight for both teams.
Absolutely. I don't, at least for baseball pitching wise, I don't care if the strike zone is 5 feet wide on both up and down. I don't care as long as it's both sides.
And Thomas could have got called for it over the back there, but did not. Another tough possession for the Knights.
And I will say, obviously, to a certain extent, I don't mind the refs kind of swallowing the whistles and letting the ladies play. I do not mind that.
Pick and roll there to Keller. And another basket there by Keller.
Yeah, and just a complete defensive breakdown there from the Knights picking out.
And Thomas, the floater, gets called for the foul there. Thomas will go to the line to shoot 2. Kayla Thomas, one of our better free throw shooters, leads the team in free throw percentage at 78.2%. Second on the team in points with 12.2. We're averaging 23 minutes a game. And Thomas hits the first.
She's definitely been a more dynamic player where she can obviously start at the point guard role, but there's also been a couple times where we've seen her coming off the bench and then almost staying in for the remainder of the game. She can pretty much fill any role that the Knights need her to do.
One thing I got to give Kayla Thomas a ton of credit for, other than hitting both of those baskets, is I have never in my life, all the years I've called these games, seen somebody risk their body more than Kayla Thomas.
Oh,
she goes after every loose ball. I mean, one of the toughest players I've ever seen. Thomas almost had the 3, and they're going to get Yoder for her 3rd foul. If I'm Yoder, I'm letting Thomas put that basket up.
Yeah, I agree, Sean. I mean, she already had a clear lane, and obviously Yoder, she wanted to put a hand up in the face, but didn't really make that much of a difference, for being honest.
As great of a season as Yoder has had thus far, she has constantly, at least in the games that we have called, found herself in significant foul trouble, and that does impact the team significantly.
Absolutely. That's definitely a big player that the Knights could have out there on the court and give them some other options both on offense and defense. Just unfortunately, that's what's been happening almost every single game this year.
And a turnover from Kayla Thomas, trying to get it inside to Swinton. Snyder wide open for the bucket. And the Knights are falling behind very quickly.
Yep, they just got caught in transition there after the turnover. Not really anyone looking at their man, just looking to get back down the court, and easy play there for Christendom.
You know, Dalton, speaking of the Super Bowl, I know that you're an Eagles fan, so I'm sure you're going to be very excited.
Absolutely.
Just remember, you can get your favorite products at the best deals during Weis Market's 3-day sales. You'll always find the best deals on the weekends. Check weismarkets.com for more information on the Super Bowl week sales.
And also, while we have the time, let's talk about the College Pantry. It's hard to study when you're hungry. The College Pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association are committed to ensuring that all of our CPC Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the link section of Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, Director of Housing and Residence Life at lindsaygarber@centralpenn.edu.
Well, we have no news on Pearson. She has not played yet. I'm hoping that she's okay. Kirby checked out, seems okay, but Yoder's got 3 fouls. You cannot imagine that Yoder is going to come back into this game until maybe a minute or 2 left. So the Knights are in dire straits at this point.
Absolutely. They're definitely going to need some people to step up, both on the offensive and defensive side. Definitely need to get a couple stops. And obviously on the offensive side, they just need to get some plays going. They really haven't had much going on the offensive side in the second quarter. They're kind of just going down and putting up the first open shot that they see, and they're not making it.
Whitaker to Roberson-Waters. And Thomas with the steal. Coast to coast for another bucket. They're doubling up the Knights, 31-15. And for every reason we said that the Knights were hanging in the first half, is every reason that they've struggled since.
Absolutely.
And they're going to get a backcourt.
Yeah, just in the second quarter here, the Knights are just a lack of concentration, a lack of focus, just too many costly mistakes here in the second quarter, and is allowing Christendom to pull away very early.
Kirby back in the game. Try to give Thomas a quick breather. This has to run through Roberson-Waters at this point for the Knights. But then again, Christendom knows that. And Whitaker, they're going to call a jump ball. Great play by Diamond Whitaker.
Yep, going right in there, not afraid of going and making a play there. Nice play, hustle play there from Whitaker.
6:02 left here in the second quarter. 31-15, Knights trail.
The Knights just need to build any bit of momentum that they can.
And Roberson-Waters, what a play.
Yep, just went straight in there. Just put up the shot.
Snyder, the ball fake, gets inside to Pennefather. I was going to say, has Pennefather even missed tonight? And a great defensive play there by Pennefather to get the jump ball off of Swinton.
No, but yeah, before that shot, I believe that she hadn't. That was their first miss of the night. But still, even after that, she was still able to stay in the play and get the ball back.
Thomas for three. A little off, and Roberson-Waters the rebound. Can the Knights get something going here? Tries to take it all the way. Swinton inside, gets it to go.
There you go, back-to-back possessions by putting points on the board. That's definitely something the Knights needed.
And Roberson-Waters is absolutely the key here. And Kirby is injured. Kirby behind that play. And Yoder's going to have to come back in this game with 3 fouls.
Yes.
You'd have to think if Pearson was active tonight that she would be in this contest.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's just unfortunate because, I mean, with the foul trouble that Yoder's already in, you needed someone else to come in and step up. It's just unfortunate that Kirby finds herself injured. I mean, that's not something you want to see.
Yoder taking on the entire team. He can't get that one to go, but Yoder's just has to be absolutely careful. But it's tough because she's such a hard-nosed defender. And Koller with the shot. We did get news earlier tonight that Koller is chasing 1,000 points, and it appears that's it.
I will say this is an incredible career achievement there from Koller. 1,000 points in 4 seasons. That is not an easy thing to do.
So congratulations to Harrisburg's own Miranda Koller, the senior.
Christendom fans in attendance are giving her the ovation that she absolutely deserves.
And how crazy is that she is from Harrisburg and she's playing, minutes from Harrisburg to score her 1,000th point. That's really something special.
Absolutely.
So congratulations go out to Miranda Koller for her 1,000th point here as a senior. A long, hard road, but she has gotten there, and the smile on her face, that's something I'll never forget seeing.
Absolutely. Definitely a very special moment here tonight.
Well, with all of that being said, 4:28 left here in the second quarter, 33-19, Knights trail. Coach King trying to get the Knights going. It's not out of the question at this point, but the Knights have got to get on a run and at least get this down to single digits before the break, Dalton.
No, absolutely. I mean, you still have 2.5 quarters left, so there is still plenty of basketball to be played here tonight. But they definitely have some side here for the Knights. They need to get something going.
Pennefather, wide open, Bombasudo down low. And I'll tell you, Yoder, she doesn't care that she's got 3 fouls. I guess, as a basketball player, I'm sure it's hard to kind of let up a little bit, regardless of the foul situation.
And absolutely, I think that's definitely still the right mentality to have, because if you play too lightly, you're going to have players, especially good players like Christendom has, they're just going to go right after her, and they're just going to attack her for easy points.
Pennefather from downtown, can't get it to go. Diamond Whitaker, the rebound, going to go to Roberson-Waters. And Roberson-Waters can't get it to go. That could have, again, changed momentum. Here we go the other way. Snyder inside to Bombasudo. Can't get it to go. And Yoder tries coming up with the ball, can't get it. Gets up slowly, and Thomas for 3.
And that's just what we were talking about, though. That hustle play there from Yoder, just lay full out for that loose ball. Unfortunately, could not come up with it. And the loose ball ends up with Christendom's hands, leads to the bucket.
Trying to find Yoder there. Unfortunately, knocked out of bounds. Still Knights ball, though.
And I will say, in this second quarter, Christendom's defense has just been absolutely enveloping. They're not even allowing them to get simple passes off. I mean, they have just been absolutely insane here in this second quarter.
They're trying to double team Yoder down below, and she puts up a miraculous shot, and Thomas is going to get called for the foul. I'll tell you what, Yoder's going to be sore tomorrow. She's taking some shots thus far.
No, absolutely. She is rolling all over the court right now.
Yoder actually second on the team in free throw percentage of 68.7%. Did miss that first one. Hits the second, pulls the Knights to within 16. And they go back inside to Keller and Thomas and Snyder from downtown, no dice. Bombasudo tries to come up with it. It goes off of Bombasudo, and it'll be Knights ball.
And that's definitely something the Knights are going to have to do. If they want to get back in this game, they need to keep getting stops and limiting Christendom from getting offensive rebounds. Now they need to get something going on offense.
And they got a press here, and it worked. But they had 2 people down low with only 1 person guarding. And you cannot leave Pennefather open from there, even though she did miss it. And Kirby with the steal.
Yep, Snyder tried to save it there in the right possession to get that turnover.
Really risky there. Still Knights ball, but not a good pass by Kirby. That being said, the Knights are getting something cooking here. If they can keep it rolling, they can cut this lead. 2:40 left. Knights trail 36-20.
I mean, the Knights need to get some sort of ball movement or just moving them players around themselves and try and find open space.
Roberson-Waters from deep. Can't get it to go. And Keller the rebound. Pennefather to Snyder. And Pennefather from the paint. Nice. This is just a clinic here from Pennefather.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, that's the sort of thing the Knights need to do, is just creating open space by passing the ball and moving people around, having them crash the lane or go back out, and that's just not what they're doing on offense here.
Roberson-Waters calling for some help. And they try to get it inside to Yoder, and Yoder does maintain possession, but it just seems like any time they get down low, Dalton, that there's just an instant double team, but that's got to mean someone is open.
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned it earlier in the game that every single time, whether it was Yoder or Swinton or even Roberson-Waters or Thomas, when they crashed the lane and they tried to put up a layup, they were immediately getting double and triple teamed. But yes, to your point, that does mean someone's open, but they're just not finding those open people right now.
And Yoder hits the first.
And I think that goes back to what I was talking about, I think, a couple games ago, where the Knights do score a large majority of their points in the paint, and obviously Christendom knows that, so they're loading the paint every single time someone's crashing, and they're just letting these people open on the three-point line because they...
On the floor, Pennefather open for 3. Can't get that one to go. Bombasudo the rebound. That was just too easy for Christendom.
And And that's why I think it's important to have someone like a Kayla Thomas on the court who can shoot the free ball, but right now she's not on the floor.
And Yoder gets it to Swinton and takes the jumper. Can't get that one to go. Bonvasuto the rebound. And we got Snyder ahead of the play, but Pennefather is going to take it. Comes up empty, and Yoder aggressive on the rebound. I'm impressed with Yoder playing with 3 fouls, how aggressive she still is.
Absolutely. I mean, again, like you mentioned, the right mentality, stay aggressive and keep up doing what she's doing, and with the hustle plays and all that, she is definitely a big reason why the Knights are going to have to, maybe come back in this game.
One thing that kind of hurts the Knights, and Whitaker goes for it. I was going to say, one thing that hurts the Knights is they're just really... Thankfully, Yoder did not get her 4th foul there. That was ripe for the picking. And honestly, if I am Coach King, I'm taking Yoder out here to preserve so she doesn't pick up that 4th foul with only 45 seconds left.
I would have to agree.
Wide open from the corner. That's Kolasar with her first basket of the night. And that's opening up a 20-point lead for Christendom. And there's exactly what you were just talking about. There are open people. The Knights just can't find them.
It's just a great zone defense that Christendom's running right now.
On Vituto. And this has been a tough second quarter for the Knights.
Yeah, both on the offensive and defensive side, just not something the Knights needed here.
Kirby to Whitaker. Yoder from downtown, and that was off, and there's 0.6 left. And we will go to a half here momentarily with the Knights trailing by 23. Gosh, I'll tell you, I thought we were going to be able to hang with them here in the first half, Dalton, the first quarter, and we did, but this second quarter was certainly a tale of 2 quarters for Christendom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just saw them on the offensive side just completely take over the game. They stretched the court, making 3-pointers, making deep twos, also running some great pick and rolls and screens, just going down in the paint wide open. And then on the defensive side, for Christendom, they just did not allow Central Penn to get anything going in that quarter. Definitely a tough quarter for tonight.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back here with you about a minute left before we start the third quarter. But as we go to halftime, the Knights trail 45-22 to Christendom. Congrats one more time to Miranda Keller scoring her 1,000th point. Great to see that. Great to have her family present and friends. Congratulations again. All right, we're going to go to the half. We'll see you shortly.
It's not enough.
Paul Miller, Dalton Koller here with you, East Penn High School. We're going to go to the second half as the Knights take on Christendom. It is 45-22. The Knights kept it close in the first quarter, but could not maintain that high energy in the second and find themselves in quite the trailing. I do see Jayla Pearson in this game. Let's see if Pearson can do something here.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed to get a fresh body on the court. Knights definitely a little bit banged up there at the end of that first half, so just nice to see somebody else there on the court.
Comes out firing.
Yeah, just one big thing that the Knights was kind of the reason why they're down by as many as they are. Christendom has scored 16 points off of the Knights turnovers, and the Knights have only scored 4. I mean, just capitalizing on mistakes. Christendom's doing it, the Knights are not.
Remember, you can always go to CentralPennKnights.com to check out all the low-life stats. And Yoder comes up empty on that. So Pennefather seemed like she had a great first half, which she did. Was 5 of, and Keller scoring her 1,000th point with 8 points and 6 boards. For the Knights, Roberson-Waters had 9. Allison Yoder had 5, but 1 of 8 from the floor, did have 6 rebounds to assist. And Kayla Thomas and Brandy Swinton with 4 points apiece. But that's not going to get it done for the Knights here in the second half. They got to get something going.
Absolutely. I mean, Catherine Thomas just got called for the travel there and caused a turnover. So definitely need the Knights looking for them to do something here early in this second half.
And Keller the block. And here we go. Pennefather to Bomasudo for 3. And Bomasudo on fire here in the second half. If she hits one more, she'd actually be on fire in NBA Jam.
Absolutely. Good reference right there, but yeah, I mean, that's something that the Knights just haven't had in their offensive game tonight. It's the 3-pointers. I don't even know if they've, I don't think they've made one. I think they maybe have attempted a handful tonight. I mean, there's just absolutely no dynamicism on the offensive side for the Knights tonight.
And Pennefather for 3.
Now seemingly Christendom are making all the 3-pointers, so I mean, it's definitely going to be tough for the Knights to come back if they're going to play this style of game the rest of the way.
Pearson looks for Whitaker, goes baseline. Yoder puts it on the floor and gets it to Swinton from the top of the key. Can't get it to go. Yoder with the rebound. Nice move. And that's how we get one basket.
But hey, anything to try and attempt to build some offensive momentum, I will take it at this point.
So here's something I was actually just talking with our reporter this evening about, Dalton. The Knights are still in the conversation for the ESAC Championship game. Bucks County only has 1 more win than we do. So even if we lose this game, they're still on the schedule for the Knights. 3 more contests after this evening. If they could get on a winning streak, they have a chance. And nearly sunk a prayer there, did Bomasudo. But realistically, the Knights still have a chance to make the ESAC title game. Now, in all reality, they're going to be playing Christendom. But as we mentioned earlier today, we did match them in the first quarter. So all you got to do is get there, and then you never know what's going to happen.
Yep, I mean, it's just, the thing is, it's obviously all in their hands now. I mean, they've been trying and coming away with some, some clutch wins here as of late to try and keep them in that hunt. And who knows, maybe if they get to that ESAC championship, they can find a way to find and play a complete 4 quarters like they did that first quarter. And who knows, maybe we might come away with a ring.
Well, I think the point I was trying to get at here, Dalton, is if you can build some momentum here, even without a win and the bucket and the foul for Yoder, if you can build some momentum here going into the second half, I mean, it at least makes you feel a little bit more confident if you'd have to travel down to Christendom and play them in the ESAC title game.
Absolutely. Even if, as you mentioned, even if they do not come away with a win, just if they can prove that they can get stops, that they can build offense, that they can have a stretch where they take over a game and they, have a long run. It just gives you the sense of hope that, maybe if we find a way to stretch this over 40 minutes, we can come away with a win against them.
Pennefather, McCaughey, number 3, Bomasudo, number 5, Pennefather from downtown. This is I just had deja vu of that 40-point game you were talking about, Dalton.
Pretty much. I mean, it was just an absolute 3-point contest that Christendom is having on the Knights defense.
On the bright side, Dalton, at least Thomas is graduating, so next year we won't have to deal with her, but Pennefather will still be here for another 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely been a problem tonight, both of them. I mean, just absolutely firing at will and just straight up whenever they're getting open looks, most of the time they are making it.
Colasar, number 13, Pennefather, number 10, number 11 is Georgie Snyder. And I mean, there's just no stopping them. The Knights are playing good defense. Inside to Yoder. And Yoder is feasting here in the second half. They have no one to match her because Keller and Thomas are both on the bench.
Yeah, and I mean, on the offensive side for Christendom, they have stretched the floor magnificently these last 2 quarters, shooting threes, taking layups, taking mid-ranges. I mean, they are just absolutely firing on all cylinders right now. And the Knights are playing some pretty strict defense. They can't get a stop.
Pennefather comes up empty on that one, her first miss of the second half. And they're looking for Pearson. Puts the ball on the floor, nice scoop. And we're getting some offense here in the second half as halfway through the third quarter, the Knights trail 59-33.
Yep, and the first person on the court for the Knights has been Jayla Pearson so far in this third quarter. She's been very solid to open up.
Well, tomorrow, if you're looking for some breakfast, if you need an on-the-go breakfast, swing by Weis Markets and pick up some fresh in-store cut fruit. Weis Markets also offers large pre-cut fruit platters for family gatherings or Super Bowl parties. So the Knights trail 59-33, 4:48 left in the third. Thank you for joining us here at Nightly News Media Club at Central Penn College. Paul Miller and Dalton Koller on the call. If you are a Knights fan, there is but one more home game. That would be senior night on Wednesday. And they are one of our rivals as well. See Keller back in the game. And a steal.
Pearson playing some good defense there on Keller.
And this is like a whole different team here. Roberson-Waters for 3. That could have actually swung some momentum our way.
Yoder almost got called for the over-the-back foul there. Luckily, she was able to pull off.
And Yoder. Surprising no call there after the body check. And Yoder was looking for that foul, too.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a push there. Refs decided to not call it.
Again, at least it's consistent.
Absolutely.
We'll give him that. And Thomas will check back in. McCarty checks out the senior. Number 3. So again, one of those runs, Dalton, I was talking about with Thomas on the bench. And that's why Mary Minnick brought Thomas back in the game. And Thomas is open from outside, passed on the 3 and pulls up. You gotta think Thomas has a chance to play professionally after this.
Yeah, I mean,
She's good at every part of the game.
Absolutely, and that was great awareness there to realize the 3 was not open. Just go straight down to that 2-point shot and just drain it with no problem.
And Roberson-Waters, what a play.
I mean, you've been saying the whole night that Christendom has spread the floor out really well. Thomas herself has a really good ability of spreading the floor out as well.
This is a lineup I really like for the Knights. It's definitely smaller, so we are definitely at a size disadvantage, but I like the quickness.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's how you have to match Christendom here. Because even though Thomas has size as a center herself, she doesn't play like a big. She plays outside inside versus the other way around.
Yeah, she definitely plays like a stretch, and I think just the biggest thing is that Christendom's offense involves a lot of motion and a lot of ball movement, and so far the Knights, with this little quicker lineup, have found a way to match that.
So, interestingly enough here, Dalton, all that talk about Cheney, the only loss on the season to Christendom was Cheney, 80-75. So, don't know what that means for our chances on senior night.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't played Cheney up to this point. That'll be their first game against them. So, who knows? Maybe the Knights can actually match up pretty well with them.
Thomas from downtown, no good, but Yoder grabs that offensive rebound and turns it over. Pennefather, a 3-on-2 break behind the back. Snyder thinks better on the 3, and Keller inside. What a shot.
Yep, Keller working on Yoder there. Just got that pass from the wing and just took it straight to the rack. Not much struggle there from Keller to put that one in.
Roberson-Waters tries to take it. Kicked ball, but no, they're going to call a foul. I think he called 21. Don't see a 21. Maybe he meant 12.
I think he might have called Snyder. I think he put up 1. I think he might have put up 1.
Gotcha. It's so tough to see. Just for all of those fans out there, we are in the last row, so it's not like we have the best of seats, although there aren't any bad seats in the house here.
Yeah, we obviously don't have an earpiece with communication of who is committing what foul, so it's definitely, we're just going off what we say.
And Yoder, King wanted to get Yoder back in that play. That was a heck of a play from Yoder.
No, yeah, and a heck of a spill, but still great determination there from Yoder to get back up and get involved in the play.
Pearson fired the 3, and Snyder's open, passes on that 3, and the steal, Kayla Thomas. And this is the up-tempo game I love to see, and nice play, but blocked by Thomas, and they're coming right back the other way. And Thomas a steal and a foul from Snyder. I gotta be honest, this is as up-tempo as I've seen the Knights play all season.
Absolutely, they're definitely pushing the tempo, and I think that is the strategy that the Knights are employing that are allowing them to somewhat build some offensive momentum.
Pearson has to check out an issue with her shoe. Wow, she's actually going over the trainer's table, so hopefully she's okay. Definitely a different lineup than we've seen thus far, and Whitaker, and that's a steal every time, and you gotta, leaves it for Bonvasudo, and again, that was just an ill-advised pass from Whitaker.
Yeah, I mean, you would have liked Whitaker to try and take the ball a little bit more down the court there instead of just trying to fire off a pass.
Another ill-advised pass, and right there is really where the Knights have struggled tonight. They're trying to play against these, and a three ball from Thomas. They're trying to play against this defense, but their passes are not crisp enough to be able to execute them well. Again.
Yeah, I mean, Christendom is putting...
Rejected by Yoder.
They're putting a lot of bodies on the front court and just not allowing them to move down the court. But the thing is, you can't really, unless if you're going to absolutely heave one down the court, you cannot try and get those long passes because they're going to get stolen. Especially
with the length that Christendom has.
Absolutely.
Roberson-Waters with a nice bucket there, but the Knights trail 68-37. Do appreciate the Knights' effort here tonight. They are not giving up.
Absolutely. They've been doing their best to try and mount somewhat of momentum here in this third quarter.
And Bonvasudo for 3. This is just a clinic here in the third corner from beyond the arc.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing with the the effort that the Knights are putting on here in this third quarter. There's just no answer for Christendom just shooting all these 3-pointers.
And had to get rid of that one because of 10 seconds, and another turnover for the Knights. And Pennefather all the way. And it's 73-37. Knights trail. 8 seconds left here, about to go to the end of the third quarter. And nearly another turnover. They got to put this ball up and try to get something. And the Knights. Wow, that was exciting. Definitely up tempo. Got to give, again, you know, we understand here, Dalton, as you mentioned, Christendom, the #1 team in the USCAA. So we knew that this was going to be an uphill climb. I would say the Knights came to play. I give them a lot of credit, but Christendom just too much.
No, absolutely. And again, it's definitely a little bit tougher with the limited numbers that the Knights have. You're kind of, you know, you're running on gas. You're kind of try and get some momentum, but it's kind of tough when you just are out there for almost 10, 15 minutes at a time. And I think the big thing that we're noticing here is just 10 three-pointers from Christendom.
I would take that one step further. 52% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's insane. It's kind of crazy to think that there's just so many people on Christendom's offensive side that are just shooting the three-pointer like that. It's incredible.
And Dalton, I don't want to steal your thunder because this is a stat you've mentioned twice, but so far in this game, Christendom up 25-4 in points off of turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a big gap. I mean, I can't really emphasize how much of a margin that is, and that's a big reason why they have stretched this lead. I mean, they've gotten a lot of stops, they've forced those turnovers, and when they're forcing those turnovers, they're putting more points on the board. And that's a big reason why they've been so dominant here tonight.
Remember, you can always go to centralpennknights.com to keep up with the live stats in this game. But as we go, Mary Pennefather leads all scorers with 25 points, 9 assists, 6 boards. Catherine Thomas with a down game by her standards, 18 points, 4 boards. And Bonvasudo, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Knights, Nyree Roberson-Waters with 13, Yoder with 12 and 11. Though, keep in mind, Dalton, Yoder does have 4 fouls.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something that both the Knights and Yoder keep an eye on here for the last 9 minutes and 26 seconds of this ball game.
Again, taking nothing away from the Knights. They are playing their heart out. It does look like Pearson's going to get ready to check back in. He is currently on the floor. Got to be careful there. Going back to the scores table seems no worse for the wear, but you never like to see that. She came in off of the bench, and especially at this point. Again, we want to get some momentum going for these last couple of games.
Absolutely. I mean, again, not only did we mention earlier about trying and build some momentum so you can show that there is a world where you can compete with Christendom, but also you want to have the feeling in your mind that you know when these last couple games down the stretch, everything's in your hands to try and make an ESAC berth, and you want to carry some momentum going into those very big games.
Of course. Roberson-Waters from outside, can't get that one to go, and Pennefather the rebound. I mean, you can't say enough about Pennefather, how great she has played tonight, and obviously, you know, since she's been here, since the beginning of last year.
Absolutely. I mean, she's going for a triple-double tonight. I mean, can't really get much better than that.
And a travel there while number 11, Georgie Snyder, was looking for a foul. Lily Vanderwood, the freshman, is checking in for her 9th game of the season, number 2. Can the Knights keep up that high-octane offense that we saw there in the third quarter? Roberson-Waters puts it on the floor. Thomas for 3. Can't get that one to go, and Pennefather another board.
Yep, that's another big difference between these two offenses. Christendom are relying a lot on the three-pointer to get a large majority of their offense tonight, where on the flip side, Central Penn is not.
Again, Thomas on the bench. This is really where the Knights need to take advantage of Thomas and Keller being on the bench. And Pearson the rebound.
Yep, there you go. I mean, they come away with the rebound. They get the stop. They need to just try and get some possessions here with getting points on the board.
And the Knights call timeout. Well, again, if you're busy this weekend and you need to pick up supplies for your big game party, keep in mind, you can go to Weis to Go online. Weis Markets will do the shopping for you. Shop for your favorite products online or on your app anytime and and anywhere, then choose to pick up your groceries curbside or, better yet, have them delivered. Visit wisemarkets.com/shop for more details.
And also while we're here, give a quick shout out to the Nightly News Media Club at Central Penn College. They're looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experiences writing for our student publication, the Nightly News, being a part of the Nightly News podcast, and being a part of our sports live stream broadcast like this one right here. Email club advisor, Professor Paul Miller yourself, at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
Well, and here's the thing. The two people that I've had calling basketball with me for the past 4 years, one has graduated and one's about to. So we do need people who are going to step in and fill your shoes. Although, much like you've seen with Brian Christian and Tyler Coleman, anytime you're willing to come down, we'll gladly have you.
Absolutely. It's definitely a great time. If you enjoy basketball, you enjoy being on commentary, why not give it a shot?
Great block there by Yoder. Pearson with the shot, can't get that one to fall. We got 7:20 left. It's 73-37. And they're going to get another foul on Kolasar. She wasn't too pleased either.
No, but I mean, I think it was a very blatant call. I mean, it was a very clear push off there, trying to create some separation. I believe it was Whitaker, and it's an easy call for the ref to make.
I guess when you're playing as well as Christian is playing, you just think it's just going to keep rolling.
Pretty much. You think you can't do no wrong.
Roberson-Waters leaves it for Thomas. Going inside on the quadruple team. One thing I would like to see Whitaker do is take some of these shots. And I appreciate, as Pearson makes that bucket, I appreciate that Whitaker is a pass-first player, but it almost seems like that she doesn't want to take the shots, and she's had some open looks tonight.
Absolutely, and I think that's definitely something that a team, especially a good team like Christendom, they could easily zero in on that, know that she's not going to try, put some moves on to get open shots. All you need to do is just put bodies around her, and it's going to force her to probably make some passes that she doesn't want to, which leads to turnovers. And when you're scoring as many points off turnovers like Christendom does, that leads to more points on the board.
All right, Bonvisuto. We see McCaughey. Vanderwood, number 2. Pennefather, number 10. And inside, Heisler with the bucket. McCaughey and Bonvisuto, along with Thomas and Keller, are all seniors. So remains to be seen if and when some of these younger players step up once the seniors, and that's going to be a heck of a senior night for Christendom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Christendom has built a pretty good program to the point where even with they have these people that are leaving, they imagine next year can probably try and bring in some new incoming talent that can fill in pretty well for them.
One interesting note I wanted to make here, my gosh, they have not played a home game since January 23rd. Don't return home again until February 15th. Actually, pardon me, February 18th. They have 3 more games at home. Gosh, that's a heck of a road trip. They've only played 1 home game since Christmas.
And I tell you what, they've done a great job on this road stretch.
How about 7 in a row?
Yeah, I mean, and they're beating some teams by some pretty wide margins. I mean, they're just an incredible team. There's really nothing else that needs to be said.
Roberson-Waters a little off balance. And Bonvisuto comes up with a rebound ahead of Pennefather. It's a 3-on-2. Vanderwood with the bucket.
I mean, the fact that they have the ability to, pretty much play almost any sort of style of game. They can slow down the pace. They can quicken up. They can play press defense. They can play zone. It doesn't matter. They do it all well.
Let me ask you, and I know that you've been on really both sides of games like this. How do you continue to keep working even in such a big hole like the Knights have found themselves in tonight?
I mean, as I mentioned, it's definitely tough. I mean, they've pretty much been out of it with the large margins since the third quarter. and which is definitely a lot earlier that they wanted to be down by that much. But I mean, it's just the point of, again, like I mentioned, wanting to build momentum for games they have coming up, and also just for personal pride. I mean, you don't really just want to go out there and, you know, just can it in. You still want to go out there and perform and get your team some semblance of, you know, success.
Of course. Demoralizing.
Definitely demoralizing, definitely deflating. To know that you're out there and you're doing everything you can to try and get back in the game, and it's just nothing's going your way.
Keller checks back in for Bonvisuto, as does Thomas. So the big scorers back in this game, even up 37. McCaughey from the corner can't get it to fall. And Thomas with the steal. And gets it to Roberson-Waters. They have numbers here, 4-on-3, but Roberson-Waters decides to hold on.
Yeah, Christendom going with a little bit of a different defensive scheme here down the stretch. Nice need to try and find some way to penetrate.
Pearson from deep can't get that one to go.
And as you mentioned, I mean, that's just, there's been no three-point game in the Knights offense. I mean, they're now 1 of 10 from the three-pointer. I mean, that's not a recipe for success at all.
Thomas comes up empty on a layup, gets her own rebound, and will go to the line for 2.
I mean, now that I think about it, the Knights have attempted as many threes as Christendom has made. I mean, that's just not a recipe for success. And it's really easy for Christendom, on the defensive side at least, to zero in on that and just not allow anything in the paint.
Interesting that you say that, Dalton, because in looking at the season stats for the Knights, they are only shooting 21%, but ironically enough, only 3 Knights, according to my statistics, have even made a three-pointer this year.
Yeah.
So that's just not, doesn't seem like it's part of their game. They only average under 9 three-point attempts a game and average less than 2 makes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not, you can't. It's really easy, especially for, you know, a good team like Christendom. They can really just zero in on, you know, your size and just know that, hey, look, we're not going to shoot the three-pointer, just load the paint and we'll get stopped.
Yeah! Karen Kirby. And the reaction there is that's Karen's first bucket of the year. Congratulations, Karen.
Yep, Kirby, definitely a big smile on her face, very excited, and I can't really blame her.
Roberson-Waters tries to save the ball, but saves it right to Heisler. Good for Karen. Heisler thinks about the 3 to McCaughey. To Pennefather. To Thomas from 3. And Pearson lets that go.
Yep, and even though they missed the shot there, that type of ball movement has been absolutely big for Christendom, and you know, Central Penn with the limited numbers, they've just been getting gas and they can't really keep up with it. I mean, you just saw right there, they were just running circles around the Knights defense there and did not struggle to get an open look.
Well, and that's the thing, as you mentioned, Christendom, they are doing really good jobs at rotating their players in, keeping them fresh. Knights just haven't been able to do that.
Absolutely, it's tough. I mean, you only have, you know, 8 active players. I mean, that's going to happen pretty easy, especially when a lot of them are playing as fast-paced and aggressively as they are. It's definitely going to be really easy to get gassed and winded pretty quick.
Pennefather makes it 81-42. We're just over 2 minutes here. Well, a couple of things I wanted to say here. Obviously, viewers out there know, if you've ever watched us before, our nightly news player of the game is always a Knight, and it will continue to be a Knight. I did want to give a special shout out not only to Karen Kirby for her first bucket, but also to Keller. Miranda Keller scored her 1,000th point this evening, and being from Harrisburg, I thought was pretty incredible. But at the end of the day, I think it's our nightly news player of the game is going to have to be Nyree Roberson-Waters. 16 points, 5 rebounds on 7 of 18 from the floor. want to give an honorable mention to Allison Yoder with 12 points and 11 rebounds to go along with 3 assists. But tonight's Nightly News Player of the game, Nyree Roberson-Waters. But on the other side of the floor, 27 for Penn, 20 for Thomas, 16 for Bonvasudo, and again, Miranda Keller on her big night with a double-double.
Yeah, I mean, when you could have
all that discussion about the 3-ball and Kayla Thomas drills one.
it's great to see, but I mean, again, it's just a little bit too little, too late. If they can try and employ that earlier on in some of their games, who knows? Maybe they can come away with some wins here down the stretch.
That being said, playing a tough team like this has to help moving forward. I know it's not the way the Knights wanted to play, and we get another 3-ball from Kayla Thomas. Maybe we're a little preliminary on the player of the game call there. Vanderwood with the bucket, and it's 85-50 with 40 seconds left.
No, but yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, even though you don't come away with the win, the fact that you've shown that you can do some good things against a team like Christendom, and you know that you're really not going to face another team like them down the stretch, it definitely gives you a lot of hope that you can go and you can get some of these later season wins and make yourself a berth into the ESAC championship game.
Only to play them again.
Yeah.
Thomas for 3. All right, well, we want to thank everybody out there for tuning in tonight to the Nightly News. Dalton, let's put a bow on this one.
Yep. I mean, all in all, obviously not a result when you lose by 35 that you want. But I mean, all things considered, the Knights played some very, very aggressive basketball. They did everything they could to try and keep up with Christian on what they were doing, but it was just too much. The 3-pointers, stretching the court, the defense that Christendom had in the second and third quarter, it was just too much for the Knights tonight.
You know, as I look back to this game, 2 things stand out to me. Number one, in the first quarter, we played very well. We played sort of shot for shot with them, only trailing by 5. And what I will also say is the third quarter, the up-tempo style that the Knights employed, I got to tell you, I think they might have unlocked something here in their final few games. If they can play a little bit more up-tempo like that, you really saw us close that gap. Unfortunately, to your point, we were in, a large double-digit lead here. And again, standing ovation here for Miranda Keller. Congratulations to her for scoring her 1,000th point. And again, Miranda is from Harrisburg, so more power to her. And embrace with her mom off camera. But, well, that's going to do it. I want to thank Dalton very much. I want to especially thank you because you came last minute. I want to wish you the best. The Knights baseball team's leaving tomorrow morning for their season opener. So, Dalton, again, thank you for taking time out of your day to come be here with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you here back here on Monday.
Oh, it's no problem. I love coming out here and calling some Knights basketball, so it's a pleasure.
All right, well, that's going to do it. We will see you next time. I want to thank Hannah Pasquarella. She is our reporter. Noah Lopez is our producer. Nick Hogan is our photographer, and of course myself, Paul Miller, and Dalton Koller for the Nightly News. We'll see you again Monday night as the men return home. But until then, thank you for watching the Nightly News.